Honorable Bole and Honorable Badri. This motion is 100% correct, and we ask the government to support it 100%. Currently, many school-going children have been dropping out of school simply because they lack a school fees. And there have been many problems resulting into this. These problems include there have been illiteracy, barbarism, tender age marriage, high rate of criminal rates, e.g. theft. We as the governments, we are going to ban off school fees in all Ugandan schools. We are going to put on strict laws on school that send students for school fees. We as the government, we are going to provide all schools with facilities, and we shall pay also all staff members of all schools in the government. Our argument is this: if we do all this in all Ugandan schools and all people study for free, then it will create opportunity to all those who cannot afford school fees. It will also reduce on high rate of school dropout. For example, those who drop out strictly due to lack of school fees. It will also reduce on high rate of literacy in all parts of Uganda.
That's one, I think.
It will also stimulate development in distant area of Uganda. Thanks.
Illiteracy. What is illiteracy?
This is the act of somebody who can read and write. Somebody who cannot read and write.
Which facilities will you provide to the children?
I did not talk about facilities to the children, but I said providing all facilities and requirements in all schools.
Examples of those facilities?
We have the books, the textbooks.
What is school dropout?
It's the act of someone, like a young girl like you, leaving studies without you finishing, and you go back and you hope, due to lack of school fees, my dear.
What is to stimulate?
To stimulate, it is like to pave a way for those who cannot afford school fees. Welcome. As the resolution says that this house will provide free education in all Ugandan schools. As the affirmative, we don't agree with the resolution. We as the negative, we don't agree with the resolution. The word provide means to give out, and free education means to study without paying school fees. In Uganda today, children are dropping out of school fees, but for us with the negative, we are going to solve such problems by taking these children in private schools which have boarding sections so that they don't drop out of schools. And our plan is to One is to introduce online payments. Arguments. Free education makes school going. Free education makes school going child dormant than children learning from private schools. It is difficult for them to learn English. Some of their children learning from free schools don't dream about their future. Some of these children learning from free schools make groups which help them to become indisciplined. Teachers come late at school and they are not serious like private teachers. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, you talked about that you said that you are going to encourage these parents to take their children in private schools. What are you going to do for those who are poor?
For those who are poor, they can manage to get some few money. We shall lower the paying of school fees on the private schools.
You talked about online payment. What does that mean?
Online payments, like me giving you the number, as the director of this school. I shall give you the number. Then when your child is at school, you send that money on the school.
This house would provide free education in all Ugandan schools. We as the affirmatives, 100% we support the resolution. As our plan was recently started by my colleague, that we shall put on strict laws to those who send children for school fees. My opponent, you have talked about lowering the fees structure, but even though you lower, there are some parents who are not able to pay even a single quid. So for us, we are discouraging that. The problems that incur when we don't provide education in all Ugandan schools, my colleague talked about literacy. The percentage of students who have dropped out of school due to school fees, it's high. So if we make education free, this will stimulate high levels of education in Uganda. And we also talked about tender marriages. If somebody drops out of school and comes back home, that person will become a nothing doer, will be idle. Instead of concentrating in things that will help him financially, will instead go for gambling, and he will find even himself stealing. The argument. It will create opportunities to all who cannot afford to pay school fees. For instance, the orphans. We have people who don't have parents and they cannot manage to pay school fees. So if we bring such a program, it will really help them.
In the last 10 years, the world has lost 64% of its wetlands to encroachers. This is something that should worry the globe, including Uganda. Between 1994 to 2015, the country has lost 32% of its wetland surface, something greatly attributed to human activity.
And that's why I'm appealing to everybody that let's leave the wetlands free. Like I think someone said, I think that's where we are going. The presidential directive is let's leave the wetlands free and we use the dry land.
You have talked about intermarriages. What are intermarriages?
I never talked about intermarriages. I talked about tender marriages. Having married at any other stage.
You have talked about activities which you create for them. Which activities are you going to create for those
I never talked about activities. I said opportunities.
You said activities.
I said creating an opportunity for students, like to all the students who cannot afford school fees.
You might have had activities create
That
for those
was your poor perceptions. For me, I never talked about it.
In the last 10 years, the world has lost 64% of its wetlands to encroachers. This is something that should worry the globe, including Uganda. Between 1994 to 2015, the country has lost 32% of its wetland surface, something greatly attributed to human activity.
And that's why I'm appealing to everybody that let's leave the wetlands free. Like I think someone said, I think that's where we are going. The presidential directive is let's leave the